I really look forward to the day that we come in here and we don't have to take up time with tracker mortgages, and we don't have to mention tracker mortgages, because I think it's holding us back from other things. But there's a couple of things I just want to put with you in relation of what you think might be acceptable in terms of your code of conduct for dealing with tracker mortgages. Somebody who first initiated correspondence with their banks in January 2016 and then constantly after that, but to date have received absolutely no information. The latest correspondence on the 10th of October says the examination is ongoing and there's no time scale for completion. So the total lack of communication is completely contrary to your expectations as a central bank on how this whole debacle is to be addressed. Are you concerned that some of the banks don't have the capacity to do what they need to be doing?
Now we turn to Derval.
So we made very clear from the outset our expectations with communication to customers who are impacted and affected, and that does not sound like that case is meeting our expectations. So the first thing I'd like to ask you to do, separate to today, is you would provide me with details of that. I will absolutely make sure that, as we do with all issues that come to our attention, follow that up, because that does not accord with what we have clearly set out in the framework and expect to happen. We were very clear that adequately resourced communications needed to be set up with customers, and I am disappointed to hear about that. As the tracker mortgage examination moved through to, as you can see, a lot of results are being delivered for people. It's true that some of the complaints made by people who were concerned were not being progressed, because in fact they were waiting to hear the outcome of their cases. And as we've said, a lot of people have received information and indeed payments to date. But we have been really clear with the lenders that we know and the lenders know when we don't have an issue, and they need to get on with dealing with any complaints, and we've communicated that very specifically and recently again to them. We've also been in communication with the Ombudsman to reiterate that actually we have no difficulties with some of these complaints being dealt with, and it's only a very narrow subset of issues that the lenders and the central bank are aware of that we need to continue to keep under review. So there's absolutely no reason why the vast majority of any complaints can be dealt with. Lenders are aware of that, and now the FSO is very clear about that too, and we don't expect them not to be answered.
Okay. And the vast majority of the complaints that I receive in relation to communications is from one single bank.
Well, as I've said,
there is a pattern over this which needs to examine. So I do appreciate you saying that you will look further into this, because I do feel that it needs probing.
They have very clear instructions, and I'm very happy to take that information from you.
Okay, thanks.